Hello. Good evening, everyone. Today we've got business focus. Oof. Very interesting today. Good evening to all those who are here, who are joining. I'll give them just a minute for some people to join on the stream. But also welcome. If you're watching the recorded broadcast, thank you very much for coming today. And I hope you enjoy some of the information we have to discuss today. Some pretty cool stuff. Hello, looks like we have someone on. Good evening. So, one of my questions for you guys is, of course, who are you? Where are you from? To introduce myself, my name is Anthony, and I am from Atlanta, Georgia. In the US. Right now, I'm actually living and working in Milan. I work at the MIS, of course, my English school in Milan, the one on the street Via Montenero. I work at that particular MIS in Milan. So for you guys just joining the stream, don't forget to let me know who you are and where you're from. Oh, we have some more comments coming in. Sorry, there's a slight delay as well. Marco. Hi, Marco from Rome. Nice to meet you, Marco. Hello. Welcome. Rosanna. Hi, Anthony. I'm Rosanna from Rome. Nice to see you guys here tonight. Welcome. Okay. Well, allow opportunities for the others joining in. Nice to meet you as well. Perfect. Nice. Even though we are meeting virtually. So we have 2 people from Rome right now. That's great. Yeah. Rome is a very nice city. I've been there a few times. So while I get this focus started, let me know what you have been doing. What have you been doing to keep yourselves busy during the quarantine? I know during this quarantine, most of us are, some of us are working. Some people are doing smart working from home, or some people are just off from work with nothing to do. So you probably are studying English during your free time. But what else have you been doing? I'm looking for ideas, actually, because I'm at home, of course. I have a lot of time that's just free. So I'm looking for some suggestions, maybe. What are you doing? Maybe if you suggest a nice TV show or something like that. Rosanna says, is it possible to receive the PDF of the business activity at the end of a webinar? I don't have a PDF for this one. No. I'm not sure how to retrieve that. Many online courses, and I've been studying how to make a business plan. So, perfect lesson. Very good. You should be good, ready for this one. Yeah, I don't think it's possible with this on this platform. But anyway, we're going to get started with this. Thank you very much for you're already using the chat. Thank you very much for that. Okay, business plan number 1. In this business activity, writing a business plan will, for opinion, and doubt, and then phrasal verbs for planning. Okay, so I'm going to do my best, of course, to give you some of the terms we use in English when we're talking about this. Obviously, I have never written a business plan, and I don't know if I ever will. So some of those concepts you probably already have in mind in Italian, but I'll show you some of these things that we use in English in a business environment. So to get started with this, it says planning. You are planning a 3-day hiking trip in the Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. The weather and terrain can be difficult and at times dangerous. What things do you need to consider or plan? Okay, so this doesn't have anything to do with planning a business, but the principles and the concept are exactly the same. The concept of planning for a trip like this. How well can you think and how well can you anticipate different challenges and different scenarios? It's all about planning a trip or planning a business. Similar ways of thinking. Oh, nice. A few more answers. Perfect. Rosanna, I'm involved in remote working every day. Okay, nice. I'm a marketing manager, so the digital in my world. Marketing manager, so digital is your world, right? And the rest of the time I use to study, read, cook. Nice. Reading and cooking are two very, very popular activities during this time. Yeah. Cooking is the one I prefer. I prefer that one. Rosanna. And dreaming about my next trips. Yeah. I know. For me, the first thing I'm going to do after this quarantine is over, I'm going to invite my friends who I haven't seen in a long time. I'm going to invite them to a pizzeria so we can get a really good pizza and a nice beer. Rosanna is. Okay, yeah, digital is my world, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to go to a pizzeria because you can try to make pizza at home, but it's not the same. You need a real brick oven with a wood fire to make a good pizza. So I'm going to go out to get that when it's over. So I'm dreaming about that now. So to this question, guys, you can put down in the chat below. That'd be awesome. What do you think? Planning a trip. What do you need to consider and plan? Rosanna. Good. Yeah, perfect. Okay, Marco says to consider the right equipment, clothes, and technical things, sure, and to be physically trained. Sorry, I just have to clear my throat. Okay. Yeah. Who is it who's writing a business plan? Okay, Marco. Yeah, nice. To be physically trained and to avoid in case of bad weather. Right. So continually checking the weather forecast to see what the situation might be. You're going to need to think about food. For me, my number one thing whenever I go somewhere, take a vacation, go on a trip like this, is food. You have to think about that. And of course, you need the equipment to climb the mountain. Let's see. My plan for a good hiking trip, Rosanna. Number 1, physical and psychological training. Yeah, okay. That can be underestimated, yeah. Psychological training. 2, team building. 3, stress test. Oh, wow. All right, intense, yeah. Yeah. And a lot of this is going to involve research, right? You need to have a good amount of knowledge on where you're going. Knowledge about the average temperatures during that time of year. Because if you're planning it far into the future, like this is a crazy journey to the top of the mountains. A lot of snow. So you're going to need to study the typical weather patterns for this time of year when you're going to be traveling to this place, and look at the history of people who were successful in doing this climb. Imagine climbing Mount Everest. You're going to need a lot of training, a lot of advice, and a lot of research. So, of course, we're talking about equipment, clothing, food, drink, emergencies, route, weather. Whereas then it says elbow cough. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Thankfully, I'm not coughing too much yet. My problem is allergies. I have allergies this time of year. I hate that. Okay, so some good things. Planning a route. That's true. The directions you're going to go. Cool. So this is part of this critical thinking. Sometimes we call it, like really analyzing the future and different possible scenarios and different possibilities and what could happen in the future. All right. Opinion versus doubt. Okay, and expressing these things properly in English. It's the day of your trip. What will the weather be like? Interesting. So, perhaps there will be a storm. So what kind of attitude does the word perhaps convey? What does that say to the person? It means you're speculating, right? Perhaps there will be a storm. Now we're using a prediction, right? And so will for predictions is something not based on evidence. It's just based on maybe your opinion, maybe your idea, giving a future possibility. Perhaps there will be a storm. Next one, I don't believe it'll rain. Okay. How sure are you about this? I don't believe it'll rain. No. So this, again, is not really based on evidence because, again, we're using will. But if you say, I don't believe, and you put that before your statement, you're making it a little bit stronger than perhaps. But there is still a little bit of a room for rain. I don't believe it'll rain. You're not completely, maybe not 100% convinced, but almost there. Yeah. I think it'll snow. Okay. Similar to believe, yeah, I think it'll snow. You don't really know. It'll definitely be dry. Okay, so we're still using will, but for some reason here, your opinion is very sure. Definitely. So, of course, phrases like this are useful in business situations. Maybe you don't want to use I think too much. I think, or something like that. Maybe we want to base things more on sure facts. What's that? There are 60% that it will rain. Okay, there is a 60% chance. We always say the word chance, actually. There is a 60% chance that it will rain. Okay. Yeah. I hope it'll be sunny. Okay. Yeah. A caution, a warning for if you use the word hope. Okay, I'm sure it's very similar. There is, okay. Yeah. There is a 60% chance. Cool. No problem. Yes. 60% chance. There is a 60% chance of rain. So I hope means you have no idea. And if you say I hope, I'm sure it's very similar in Italian as well, but it works this way in English. I hope it means you don't have any control over the situation. So you're just hoping. So, of course, in a business situation, if you're trying to get an investor, or you're trying to find new people to work with, a new business partner, hope probably does not belong in your business plan. The word hope, I wouldn't say that. I would only say certain things that I'm more sure about. Just to me, from what it seems here. Maybe it'll be windy. Again, maybe means that you don't know and you haven't researched too much and you don't have much control over the situation. If it's a maybe or if it's a hope. It certainly won't be cold. All right, this is like now getting to the level of a promise. Like it certainly won't be cold. My business plan certainly won't fail. That's really, really, really strong. Yeah. Okay, so for you guys, if you were hopefully following my descriptions of these terms, I hope, let me know which of these phrases, in your opinion, well, do you express opinions? And then which ones are doubt? And which ones are certainty? So here we're using different words, different phrases that go together with will, but actually change the strength of the sentence. Rosanna says, I think, okay. I think is, yeah, sure, an opinion. I think and I don't believe will probably go with opinion. Mark are correct. I think and I hope. Sure. Nice. For opinion, yes, yeah. How about doubt? Doubt and certainty. I don't believe. Maybe doubt. Yeah. Exactly. Doubt. Maybe. Perhaps. Yeah. Perhaps belongs there as well. Because perhaps is not very sure either. Perhaps is a doubt because you don't really know. Correct. Okay, there we go, Rosanna. Nice. It will definitely. So I wouldn't put perhaps with being sure. I don't know. Perhaps is that. Yeah, I would say perhaps will be doubt. Perhaps is like maybe. Mm-hmm. It means something else. When you say things like maybe, perhaps, or I hope, it means that something else is like controlling the situation. It's not about the facts that you have. So yeah, perhaps is doubt. Really, not doubt, yes, but speculation, really. You say doubt or speculation for perhaps. Okay. So, a couple of these. Use some of the expressions we talked about in the previous slide to create your answers for questions like this. I'll give you my answers, and while I am speaking, you can write your answers in the chat below as well. To any question, you don't have to answer all questions. It's not necessary for all of them, but just some of the questions. So discuss the following questions. Use will to express opinion or doubt. All right. Do you think you'll start a company in the future? Possibly. I may start a company one day. Not in the near future, but in the farther future. Yes, a company that produces books. If I were to create a company, I would create one that produces books for learning English. Or a company that makes video games. That would be great. So I probably won't start a company realistically. Number 2, will your boss give you a pay raise this year? I hope so. I hope my boss will give me a pay raise this year. See, it's not much in my control. But if I work harder, then probably, most likely, my boss will give me a pay raise if I work really hard and then try to improve. Yeah. Number 3, what's in the news at the moment? What will happen? Well, in the news at the moment, unfortunately, there is only one thing in the news right now. And we all know what that is. What will happen? Well, I can be certain that this event will certainly be part of history. It will certainly be part of history forever, and it will change. I strongly believe that it will change the way that we handle disease, the way that we handle safety and health. Marco says, producing books, you mean a publishing house? Not a publishing house, but as in like writing, creating books. That would be my main thing. Not in publishing. I would have to get somebody else, another person, to publish the book or books, but that's just one idea I have. Not not super serious idea, but if for video games though, I have thought seriously about that. About a company that creates video games. But even in that case, we would have to have a different company that could help publish it. A production company. What job will you have in 2030? I hope I will have a job in 2030. What job? I have no idea. Marvel says, I hope to write a novel in the near future too. Nice. Yeah. Actually, I have already started writing a novel, science fiction novel. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see, Rosanna. I'm definitely a free worker. I've been freelance for about 7 years, and probably in the future I'll start my own company. Nice. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, freelancing is a great way to work now. Yeah. Will you ever visit another planet? Oh, I certainly will visit another planet. I hope so. In the future, I hope we'll be able to live on Mars, or at least visit the moon as a passenger. That would be fantastic. I don't believe, on the contrary, that I'll choose for an employer job. Oh, as in for you to be an employee of a company? Okay. So you don't believe that you'll change that in working for a company as an employee rather than a freelancer. Okay. I understand, yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Sure. Okay. So that about covers it for those questions, guys. Let's look at some of these phrasal verbs that have to do with starting a company, right? Let's see. Rosanna, I don't want to visit another planet. I hope that our world will be enough. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, if we can fix pollution, I think we'll be able to stay here. Yeah. Marco, I'd like to have a job that would satisfy me as a person. So I hope to start a new company of mine. I think it's the right solution for my attitude. Okay. Great. Yeah. That would be awesome to become an entrepreneur. I've heard that it's difficult to start a new company in Italy, actually. I've heard it's difficult. In the United States, it's very easy. Very, very easy. Anybody can just create their own company in just a couple of days. You have a business name, you have a business account, everything. But if you can find people, or I don't know if you can do it yourself, but find people that can help you with the paperwork here in Italy, then yeah, it could be possible. Okay, so we have these ones, and hopefully if you're taking a look at the screen, we can match these together. Draw up, seek out, take on, come up with, and start up. What do these mean? We'll discuss the meanings of these phrasal verbs, and we'll go through some examples. To draw up. If you know the the definition to any of these, you can write it in the chat. So seek, you can see, has some similarities to the word search, like you have here. Take on. Marco, search for a specific person or thing? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Oh, Rosanna says startup, a company in the first stages of operations. Yes. That's correct, Rosanna. Perfect. In the TV show Star Trek, their objective, their goal is to seek out new life on other planets. I would love to do that, actually. I would love to seek out new life on other planets. So, draw up, just to let you guys know. Okay, it is to create. Okay, Marco says draw up, maybe create plans. Yes, exactly right. Mm-hmm. We can use this in different situations, like for our new employee, we have to draw up a new contract. What is the difference between seek and seek out? Okay, so it would be something specific. All right, so seeking is basically searching, but if you're seeking out something, that means you're searching for something specific, a specific person or thing. So it's just a little bit more emphasis on being specific. It's basically the same thing. It's seeking, still searching. But a new company can specifically be, we are seeking out a new financial advisor. take on, like we said, start up as a company. To take on is actually means to employ. Our company is seeking out a new financial advisor to take on. It says, come up with, discover, or produce. Yes, perfect. We're gonna do. Take on, employ. Come up with, discover, produce. Yeah. I don't know what do means, but good. Okay. So let's draw up a new contract for that new employee that we took on. To take on someone is to hire someone. We need to come up with a new strategy. For example, if you're involved in marketing, the market is always changing. So, for example, the market is always changing, so we always have to come up with, or we often have to come up with new strategies. Could be if you're in some type of a sales business. Okay. So we'll read this together. Nichol and Dime are a Boston-based brewery started by the 5 Nicholson brothers. They offer a series of seasonal beers, popular across the US, and have ambitions to expand their sales in Europe. As the Nicholson brothers look to move from startup to a medium-sized business, they'll need to draw up a business plan for their second brewery and seek out investors. They'll also need to come up with marketing ideas and locations, invent new beers, and take on more staff. There's a lot to arrange. Okay. So we'll think of some of the elements of a business plan. Think up or come up with some questions that you need to consider. Marco says a brewery. Okay. A brewery is the place where they make beers, where they create beer. To brew is a verb for the process of making beer. Okay. So, a good business plan. Okay, perfect. Good business plan will include the objectives. Clearly identify the objectives of your company, what you want to accomplish. This is what I want to do. Making that very clear and simple. Ownership. Who is going to be, money-wise, who's going to be owning this? Who's going to own the company? Who's really going to manage it? What are your products? How and who are going to do your market analysis? How is the market for this particular product that you want to sell? Business strategy. How will you organize your advertising to reach the most amount of people? And then the organizational plan. Could be, of course, the structure of your company and the financial plan. So you want to come up with a budget. How much money can you realistically spend, or can you afford to spend in each of these aspects? So understanding this, Having a good idea of your financial plan helps you have a good number of how many new employees you can take on. Pretty cool. Here's an example of a case study. James Nicholson and his 4 brothers, Frank, Elliot, Ben, and Matt, need a business plan for their new brewery. They'll need to increase their share of the craft beer market to make it a success. Craft beer is a growing business in the US, and their main competitor is Bulldog Brewery. Bulldog focus on traditional craft beers, while the Nicholsons hope to expand on the success of their seasonal beers. They'll need to take on a head brewer, 5 brewers, a cellar manager, and 5 cellar staff, although admin will be taken care of by their current administration staff. Opening a brewery is a costly endeavor, with premises costing upwards of $6,000 per month, and salaries triple that. Oof. Okay. So, you guys think about some suggestions. What ideas can you put to this? How can you draw up your own business plan for these guys? Thinking about your objectives, your ownership, your products. You can take any of these 7 points and write in the chat a suggestion of how they can handle this situation. Was it a costly endeavor? Okay, nice question. Costly means expensive. And an endeavor is like a goal. Or a thing you want to do. An endeavor is what your plan, what you want to do. Basically, your objective. So it's something very expensive. An expensive action. An expensive action. Yeah. So this is something that can cost the company. The company will have to pay $6,000 per month just to stay operational. So think about marketing. Where can they market? Where do you suggest that they market and how? So there are these days a lot of different ways you can market. Social networks. What do you think will be most successful for a local brewery? Now this is a craft brewery, so it's a small location. And it doesn't look like they're trying to be worldwide. So personally, I would not suggest social networking as their primary advertisement, especially because they're trying to be something local. Because it doesn't seem like they're trying to expand into the entire world. But if you have any ideas on what they could do, Marco says they should see. We're saying objectives. In the first year, the goal is brand awareness. All right. So making a name. Making a name for themselves, understanding who they are. Okay, Marco says they should see in their area there are other breweries. For example, and in case, what's the difference with them that allow them to stand up? Okay, stand out rather than stand up. We'll say stand out. Market ownership. Probably in their case, they should form a society. Okay. Yeah. And for the following 2 to 5 years, the goals are to obtain clients and fidelity. True. Yeah. An idea for building loyalty to their clients. Sure. Part of their plan could be, too, is looking at restaurants, expanding into other restaurants that can serve their beers. So they'll need to take on some new staff, of course. But they should schedule, because they says they want to make new beers. They want to focus on different types of beers and inventing new beers. So they should have a realistic plan of how often they want to create something new. Products. Find local craft beers could be an idea. Yeah. And with something like this, they want to say, maybe we're going to invent two new beers per year, and have that solid, realistic goal that their clients can depend on. They know that every 2 years, they're going to have a new beer. Once a year, 2 new beers. Ownership could be good to realize a brand image, the Nicholson brothers, and to launch the first advert with them. Yeah. Cool. So what about for you guys? How can you take these concepts and apply them to your own business plan? How can you do that? Using the things that we're thinking about now. Great product. I agree with Marco. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, creating partnerships with restaurants, something like that. What was it? Local product and creative packaging. Mm-hmm. Yes. So they need to fit that into their budget, right? Hiring some sort of an artist who can create the packaging for the beer. Yeah. So many things to think about. How can you apply these 7 important steps to your own company, your own business plan? So then remember, of course, because you need to try and find investors, like it says in here, something about that in here. Yeah. They need to take on new staff, find investors into the company. So they need to have something. They need to be sure about what they're saying. Of course, they're not going to use some of the maybe, I hope. They're not going to use terms like that. Rosanna says, market analysis. Probably I could choose a specialized company to manage this important data for future strategy of growth. Growth is the noun for growth. Yeah. But very correct. There's so much market analysis that's done these days through social media. It's crazy. That actually now Instagram has more, brings in more revenue, more money, earns more money than YouTube. It's crazy. Definitely, if you're trying to expand through different countries, or maybe spread throughout the entire country, then for social media would be the way to go for marketing. But it's a difficult kind of marketing, because everybody else in the world is trying to market on social media too. So to stand out, like Mark was saying, it could be something difficult. So if I wanted to create a business plan, I would write down my objectives, understand what my primary goal is, and then break that down, divide that goal into smaller steps that I could use to achieve that realistically. Show who is going to manage everything. Limit my products that I'm going to produce at the beginning, but then have future ideas as well ready to go. Okay, business strategy. It says we have to choose for exit or not. Okay, in Italy, a typical familiar brand usually will remain in the family hands and it won't open to investors. Okay. Interesting. So that's another part about business strategy, right? You have to choose if you're going to be public or private as a company. Yeah, I guess that is very common here, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, for me, I would be starting a game company would be objective, make video games. Ownership, me. Products, video games. Market analysis. Finding the best way to advertise to gamers. Using video game forums on the internet. Basically, if you want, when it comes to marketing, if you want to market to a specific group of people, find an online forum like something like Reddit. Find a forum where all these people go and advertise there. Because that's where the people are really going to see it. And you're going to reach the specific people that you want. Rosanna, organizational plan. We need of a project manager. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big job. Not my kind of job. Not something I can do. Very difficult. Organizational plan and financial plan. So financial plan, creating a budget, right? You need some sort of an accountant, right? Who's going to work on these things. So we just have 1 minute left. But guys, we discussed some very important phrasal verbs. Now this is only Business Intermediate Management 1. This continues. There's Intermediate Management 2. So keep looking on the schedule, of course, or on the stream, on this channel, on this business channel for my eyes, as the other versions of this will come as well. This is just the beginning. You'll see number 2, number 3, number 4, all on how to manage these things. So creating a business plan, have your objectives clear in mind, using strong phrases to make sure you're very sure of what you want to do. And Rosanna has some great ideas. Financial plan, we can also try for fundraising. Yeah, campaign or to raise new money to expand the company. Yeah, like crowdfunding. Like Kickstarter, Indiegogo. So you've pretty much covered all the steps. A lot of really good stuff from Rosanna. Really good suggestions from Marco as well. But unfortunately for now, that finishes the stream. that ends it here. I hope you enjoyed and liked the things that we talked about. Thank you guys very much. Remember these 7 important key factors and all of these great phrasal verbs that you can use for your own startup company. Thank you guys very much. Have a great evening. Isn't a simple exercise? No, it's not. Especially if you don't have experience creating a business, then it's very, very difficult. But you guys did really great with it. It's really nice. See you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.